Community Link, presented by Financial Center First Credit Union.
Thank you for joining us for Community Link. I'm Caroline Mays. Dogs can bring smiles and healing. The Freedom Canine Project trains service dogs to help survivors to overcome the struggles of PTSD. We have joining us today the founder and chairman, Lydia Wood, and Genesis is joining us. Isn't that awesome, Lydia? Genesis is just so beautiful.
Yes,
but tell us about the Freedom Canine Project. What led you to this project?
Well, Caroline, we are actually the only service dog organization in the United States specializing in training PTSD service dogs for survivors of abuse. So what led me to this work is realizing that that was a thing, that there weren't other organizations like this. There are organizations out there who accept applications from survivors of abuse, but we're the only organization that has been built with survivors in mind. The way that PTSD service dog organizations exist for veterans, we exist for survivors of abuse.
That's awesome. What type of abuse are we talking about?
We're talking about domestic abuse. So the way that we have it is domestic abuse and sex trafficking. And the unfortunate thing there is a lot of overlap between those two, because often traffickers are intimate partners or family members.
Yes. Tell us about Genesis and the dogs that you have in training.
Yes, so Genesis is one of 2 dogs that we have in training. She is being trained to go to one survivor specifically. So that's how we train our dogs. We train them to step in at the early signs of panic so that those neurotransmitters don't become so overwhelming. And the survivor can then rewire those neural pathways and ultimately, hopefully, reduce the symptoms of PTSD over time.
So how instrumental have the dogs been with PTSD survivors?
Well, Caroline, I actually have a survivor who has answered that question for me. I have the answer here on my phone, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely.
Would you like to read it, or shall I?
You shall read it, please.
All right. So this was sent to me right after I had told one of our survivors that she was receiving one of our dogs. Even when you reached out to interview me, it never fully occurred to me that I may really get one of the dogs. Today I told my loved ones about how I'm going to get a service dog, but I've most recently just been sitting and absorbing. I cannot believe it. When the person who hurt me was convicted, I realized I might actually be safe. Today I realized I might actually be okay. Maybe I can be successful. Maybe I can help other people. Maybe I can exhale. Thank you for giving me that. Thank you for giving me hope. Thank you for giving me a new beginning and the start to a new chapter.
Wow, so powerful.
Yes.
Hope and a new chapter. Thank you for sharing that with us. So tell us about how your program is funded and why aren't there more programs available?
Well, our program is funded through people. We are a grassroots organization. We are pretty young, so we have not gotten any huge grants or anything like that. So we have been funded through a few businesses and mostly just people out of the kindness of their hearts. And the answer as to why there aren't more organizations like ours is, I think, mainly political. A lot of the messaging is just so entrenched that PTSD is only with veterans for service dogs. And we're just trying to change that. Service dogs can be helpful to so many people, and we want people to be aware.
Absolutely. So how can the community help you and your organization grow?
Yes. So, of course, donating is very helpful. We are 100% run by volunteers. So, myself included, I've never gotten paid a penny. So, everything donated goes directly to our cause. And we actually have expanded our organization a little bit to include really everybody. We have gotten lawyers involved. We're getting social media people involved. We're getting therapists involved because this is such a huge need. And because we're the only organization like this, we feel a real responsibility to increase access overall. So really, if you want to be involved in any type of way, there's probably a way for you to be involved. So just go to our website and check that out.
And what's your website?
www.freedomcanineproject.com.
freedomcanineproject.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks so much, Lydia. Love your heart. Love what you're doing. Love having Genesis here. And thank you for all that you're doing to help survivors of PTSD.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.